Vegas to see if it's myth or reality. WBC heavyweight champion Trevor Berbick has his own sense of destiny. In 1981, he burst upon the boxing scene by extending then WBC champion Larry Holmes 15 rounds.
You can hear Berbick talking to him. And I think maybe he got to Larry Holmes a little bit there. Berbick with a right hand to the kidneys that time. That momentarily brought the champion's arms down. And now a right hand to the face of Berbick by Holmes.
And 5 years later, a stunning upset over the reigning WBC champion Pinklin Thomas, then thought to be the best in this scramble for the unification.
And new WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Trevor Berbick.
Now Mike Tyson attempts to become a younger heavyweight champion than 23-year-old Joe Louis, younger than a 22-year-old Cassius Clay, or even a 21-year-old champion Floyd Patterson. After just 20 years and 4 months, Tyson attacks the record books.
So counter right hand by Mike Tyson is invited. There was an uppercut.
Davey Pearl looking very closely. And that's all. It's over. Tonight, the old Tiger faces the young Lion as the Heavyweight Unification Series continues on HBO. Outside, a cool, crisp night in the desert. One has to think even the gaming tables will empty a bit during the next hour or so. And we are live from the Las Vegas Hilton in Las Vegas, Nevada, where WBC champion Trevor Berbick defends his crown against Mike Tyson. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. Throughout the history of this great sport, celebrated heavyweights have emerged to capture the public's imagination. As they stand on the threshold of the title heavyweight champion, the hype is over. The names like Ali, Marciano, Lewis, and Dempsey each seize the opportunity. Now this Las Vegas crowd and millions around the world wait in judgment as Mike Tyson tries to prove he is deserving of all the attention as the next great heavyweight champion. A formidable WBC champion, Trevor Berbick, stands in his way. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, along with Larry Merchant and Sugar Ray Leonard. Welcome to Las Vegas. We'll answer a couple of questions tonight. First of all, is all the talk about this young upstart, the most promising heavyweight, they say, to come along in decades, just that? And is the champion, Trevor Berbick, worthy of the title that he holds? Larry Merchant, they've said that the heavyweight division is a group of indistinguishable retreads pursuing a confusion of titles. Now all of a sudden along comes Mike Tyson, and everybody that I've talked to involving this fight says this is the Tyson fight. Tyson this, Tyson that. But Trevor Berbick is the champion and nobody's talking about him.
I don't think there's any doubt that most people are viewing this event more as a coronation than as a contest, and it's perfectly understandable, really, because they're expecting and even hoping that Mike Tyson fills a vacuum in boxing. The absence of a real sensational young champion who's willing to fight anyone, everyone, and often. What we have to wonder is whether a 20-year-old heavyweight can really take that responsibility and be the boy king. We have to wonder about it because he hasn't really been tested yet. So it requires a sort of leap of faith to believe that, and I'm ready to make the leap.
Speaking of the leap, Sugar Ray Leonard, this is a quantum leap now for Mike Tyson. He hasn't fought anybody the caliber of Trevor Berbick. You've been in this situation. All of a sudden it's a championship. You could feel it all around the Hilton here tonight. There's a lot of electricity going on. You've been in the spotlight situation. For Mike Tyson, is it too much too soon?
Well, Barry, I feel it's now or never. And the reason I say that, because, see, Mike Tyson, because of his talent, he's been brought along, he's been marketed, he's nurtured, he's been extremely active. I think it's prime time for him. And the reason I feel that so confident about Mike Tyson is because he goes into the ring with such an aggression that very few guys can deal with it. So I have high hopes for Mike Tyson tonight.
Again, everybody's talking about Mike Tyson. Nobody's talking about the champion, Trevor Berbick. He is a man of very few pretensions. As a matter of fact, he virtually has made a career out of being the underdog. When he's the underdog, he wins. He's not really liked or disliked, but he has an ally, he says, that's never failed him. During the week, Trevor Berbick goes about his business as the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. But come Sunday morning, he's in a different arena, where his instructions do not come from a referee or a manager or a corner man.
Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
Trevor Berbick makes it his business to get close to God and practice his heartfelt religion. It's been a part of his life since he was a teenager. And for the last 16 years, this heavyweight champion sought the glory of his religious traditions.
But I was looking for something that we call the old-fashioned church, where people really express their feelings about God and not ashamed to dance to the tune and the music they love, and to just express themselves freely in the Spirit of God. It's always inspired me when I come here and see people that come out to sing praises unto the Lord and to dance to the good music. The good music. You know, people say sometimes they go to parties, they say, "You never dance." I say, "It's not my music."
Trevor found the warmth and love he was looking for at the Moments of Miracles Church here in Las Vegas. As an ordained minister, he preaches the gospel with Senior Bishop John Irving and his wife, Prophetess Amanda.
Trevor said, well, this is the place for me. He said, wherever I go, that I want the church to be with me. And whenever I fight, I want the church to be where the people can see the work that I am doing, not just only a fighter, but a man of God that working, that he build the kingdom of God, that it might be built through us.
We have a thing going that we call the World Series. World Heavyweight Boxing, they want to see who is the supreme of them all. I have a journey. I have something to conquer, because I have to show the world that my God is supreme. Yes, I work hard, I train, I prepare myself physically. Yes, I'm a soldier of the cross. And I will defeat all devils that come my way. This is my calling. And I will do it in fine style and fine grace, because I love my Lord.
Berbick's road to the heavyweight championship was not paved with gold. More often than not, he entered the ring as the underdog. His first attempt was in 1981 against then WBC champion Larry Holmes. Although he was the first man to go 15 rounds with Holmes, the championship eluded him. When he took on Greg Page, Trevor Berbick again surprised the boxing world and his opponent. After 10 rounds of furious flurries, Trevor had earned a unanimous decision. But against Ronaldo Snipes, Berbick once again tasted defeat. Starting with an early knockdown, Snipes dominated the fight and appeared to end Trevor's quest for a title. But 4 years and 10 fights later, Berbick entered the ring against Pinkland Thomas. Nothing could shake the faith of Trevor Berbick.
I think many times that things look impossible, and I had to call back into my faith and to reassure myself that I can do it.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Trevor Berbick.
I wasn't supposed to do this. I wasn't supposed to have really still be here in the game. And I overcome it without a scratch or a scar on my face. And that showed me that there's a guiding light protecting me when the demons try to destroy me. So how can I ever forget that he always guides me and leads me and protects me?
The Moments of Miracles Church is not Trevor's only pulpit. He shares his strengths and beliefs once a week with the inmates at the Southern Nevada Correctional Center. In a classroom that sometimes transforms into a makeshift chapel, a small group gathers to partake in the reading of the gospel and to find comfort and encouragement through the words of a proud and humble champion.
We have liberty, and the prisons cannot keep us in. And you know that he forgives us. So therefore, we're looking at a different life, a new life, to come out in a new world and be a new man with new inspiration, new motivation. Well, I hope that I leave the message behind that the same God that saved them and the same God that give me a successful life and a career will do the same for them when they leave this place, will continue to be their friend, their savior, and guide them along to great success in life.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by?
I have to show the world that I stand for Christ, and when I do it good, and I do it to win. And when it's all over, I want to give all the glory to God.
And so coming up here on HBO, it is the battle for the WBC Heavyweight Championship between the champion, Trevor Berbick, and the challenger, a most talked about challenger, 20-year-old Mike Tyson. Now with more on the champion who just won't seem to go away, here's Larry Merchant.
Trevor Berbick is a mysterious, eccentric character held together by faith in himself and in his religion. And Mike Tyson had, and in a very real sense still has, Cus D'Amato. D'Amato was also a rather curious character in the boxing world. Trainer, teacher, self-styled philosopher, and a sort of mad scientist of the ring. One of his credos was that prize fighting, professional prize fighting, is entertainment. So that prize fighters should be entertaining, aggressive, crowd-pleasing. All of his fighters were that. And many people believe that Mike Tyson is his ultimate creation. This generation's Dempsey or Marciano or Frazier. But there was another D'Amato credo that you don't match your fighters too harshly. You don't overmatch them. He was very, very cautious in matching his fighters. So we really don't know about Mike Tyson. He's never even fought a top heavyweight yet. Tonight he has to prove himself against a professional, a champion. I sort of think that Cus D'Amato would approve of this match.
Mind is not in your way. There's something distracting you. And remember, it's always good to throw the punch where you could hit him and he can't hit you. That's what the science of boxing is all about.
It's been a year since he passed away, but his words are still heard. Cus D'Amato was, in a sense, the modern-day father of boxing. He often said, "What I do is discover and uncover." In the 40s, it was Floyd Patterson. And in the 50s, it was Jose Torres who he transformed into a champion. But perhaps his greatest prize was the 13-year-old boy brought to him 7 years ago from a nearby correctional institution. The uncovering process would now begin.
With me, the guy comes to me with a spark. I fan the spark until it becomes a flame. I feed the flame until it becomes a fire. Then I feed the fire until it becomes a roaring blaze. That's what I have to do.
Round one. Well, a lot of punches thrown by Mike Tyson. Mike used both hands, very patient. He was able to hurt Trevor Berbick, and the key to the fight, he never let Berbick off the hook. Here again, he's right back on top of Trevor Berbick, throwing the left hook, waiting to get inside, and it was just a matter of time, Barry.
Did you have the feeling that even after the first round that Trevor Berbick really never got his legs back?
Well, the first time that Mike Tyson hit Berbick with a good shot and Berbick stood there, I said, well, this could be a long fight. But then all of a sudden, I saw the knees of Trevor Berbick start to shake. So it's just a matter of time.
Well, Trevor Berbick, again, just looked to be kind of a stumbling fighter after about the middle of the first round when Mike Tyson first hurt him. Coming up toward the end of this go now. And Berbick, again, you can see he just doesn't seem to be fully attentive. He just doesn't seem to be all there, at least to this observer.
Well, another thing is Tyson has those short arms, so he's able to execute punches inside, very close, very effective, and get a great deal of leverage. Tyson puts his entire body behind, his whole hip behind each punch, so he's able to hurt guys with idle hand.
You know, the way we've seen Tyson fight in the past, it's just almost been reckless. Maybe it's the best way to describe it. Tonight he was anything but reckless. He was very calculated.
He kept his hands high. Here he just plotting his man, staying aggressive, working the body. Watch the left hook. That was the key punch that really put Trevor Berbick on Queer Street. And Berbick is a guy, don't get me wrong, Berbick is a guy with a pretty good chin, so that tells you the power of Mike Tyson.
You know, the other thing that strikes me, too, is it just seems that Mike Tyson just that quickly has emerged as a heavyweight champion. You know, we've always seen him be very soft-spoken, even when we've been with him privately, just 3 or 4 of us in a room. Very quiet guy, but you heard in his interview with Larry Merchant, obviously he was very excited, but all of a sudden he's acting like a champion.
Well, there was a sense of awe to Mike Tyson. He actually believed he's supposed to be champion, that he will be champion, that it was something that would be inevitable. And he made his dream come true. Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight ever.
And there was that big left hand.
It caught him on the forehead, as a matter of fact, and he displays so much power. I was impressed, quite impressed.
Just a tremendous victory. I mean, you just can't say it enough. I almost feel like we're being redundant here, but it was just awesome. Just a brilliant performance by Mike Tyson.
Well, he gives me inspiration because Hagler's next.
That's right.
Oh,
we're going to talk
good.
about that, too. Let's get back up to the center of the ring right now where Larry Merchant has a guest. Larry?
I'm with Jose Suleiman first. Jose is the head of the WBC. I want to talk to you, Jose, because the IBF is saying that Michael Spinks ought to fight someone else before he gets to the end of this tournament, and it seems to reflect the fact that some commissions don't want to see a unified champion. How does the WBC feel about that?
We want to see the unification of the title. I believe that if a champion needs dignity, the only way to get it is by beating the other one. I think that we saw the birth of a new era tonight. Sensational. As far as the WBC is concerned, we would do anything, no conditions whatsoever for the unification of the title.
Thank you very much, Jose. Now I'm with Butch Lewis, who is the co-promoter of this series and the promoter of Michael Spinks, the IBF champion. Michael, what do you think about... Butch, what is your position about what the IBF is saying, that they want you to fight someone else before you get to the final fight of this tournament?
Well, not speaking for the IBF, I respect all the organizations, and I will look forward to sitting down with Mr. Bob Lee, the president of the IBF, and he's certainly an understanding man, where Michael Spinks, who's been good for boxing as a light heavyweight champion, who unified the title as a light heavyweight champion, who is a great credit to boxing, and is now as heavyweight champion. I think that the IBF and its members will do what's right for boxing rather than for one fighter.
Especially since they never even made Larry Holmes ever fight a mandatory defense of their title.
Well, Michael took the title away from me before he was due for a mandatory.
Right. One final question. We hear reports that you have already agreed to fight Jerry Cooney outside of the tournament, that you might be making an announcement soon. Would you comment on that?
Well, let me say this, Larry. If I ever fought Jerry Cooney, contractually, my contract with HBO allows me to do so.
Right.
So if that came about, I will make an announcement soon.
Would you fight him outside?
Contractually, we always been allowed.
Right.
Don't act like I can't do it, Larry. I'm allowed to do it.
Okay,
I'm allowed to do it.
Muhammad, you're allowed to do it, but only if he agrees to stay in the tournament. Would that be the conditions of the...
We won't discuss the contract here before all our audience,
okay,
Larry, but we at HBO and at Butch Lewis Productions know how the contract reads.
Thank you very much, Butch.
Thank you.
And Jose. Back to ringside, and I'll have a few final words about tonight in a minute or so.
That's what I like about Butch Lewis, to give you the shirt off his back. You got a little fight coming up in April.
A little fight. Well, I'm honored that Hag gave me an opportunity to fight for his crown. But the thing about it, he's been very, very admirable about the fact that we're going to fight each other April 6th. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm sure he is too, Barry.
What is that? You and Marvin are friends. They're pretty good friends. Is it difficult to fight a guy who you do like?
Well, you know, we have not had any type of promotional hype nor gimmicks. And even at the press conference that we've had, there was nothing derogatory said, because we're both professionals and there is no need to say anything out of the way about each other. But come April 6th, quite naturally, he says he's going to war. I will go to strategy because I don't believe in war.
What's your reaction to people's saying to you, Ray, I really wish you wouldn't do this. Why are you doing this?
Well, there are two sets of people. There are my fans and there are people that are somewhat pessimistic. My fans don't want me to fight, I understand that, but they've rationalized with my decision. Other people, they say that because they are cynical in a sense, and
I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of envy.
For real, for sure, one time once, and then that's it?
One time, like I said, you can wear this bow tie one time.
All right, let's go back up to the ring and Larry Merchant.
Angelo Dundee, the famous trainer, once said of a Muhammad Ali opponent, he's human. My guy ain't. In the land of boxing, not being considered human is the sincerest form of flattery. And I think tonight we found out which fighter was human, and in boxing's terms, which fighter wasn't human. I don't know if Customato made out a will. I don't know who he made it out to. But I know that what he did do was to bequeath to all of us who love boxing, who love the spirit of these men, a young champion who can revitalize the game, but more important, shows us the passion of the game. There's no entrepreneurship in him. He's not being a fighter so that he can be something else. He is a pure fighter. He is the pure flame. Barry?
Ray, your thoughts. It really is refreshing almost, I think, to have a fighter like Mike Tyson in a heavyweight division.
It's refreshing because it's a young man that was on the horizon, became champion, and people respect him because he's always been clean cut. I think boxing needs that.
You know, the other thing, too, that Mike Tyson was telling us, a thing that Customato taught him as well, he said he taught me anatomy. He said, I know the liver. He said, I know the jawbone below the ear. He said, I know the floating rib. He said, I know the kidneys. And, you know, tonight he hit every one of them.
Anatomy, the ribs, the kidneys, the jaw. Great. The guy could be a doctor.
Dr. Tyson, he's the champion. Well, be sure to join us each week then as Len Dawson and Nick Buonacani host Inside the NFL. We'll take you right through Super Bowl 21 with all the highlights, the interviews, and the features surrounding the National Football League.